Imagine this: the room goes silent. Flashbulbs pop. Reporters scribble furiously. And at the center, former President Trump leans forward, a grin playing across his face, as he delivers the news that will set the military aviation world buzzing. Boeing has won the contract to build the F-47, the United States' next-generation fighter jet. This isn't just any fighter. It's the sixth-generation plane designed to dominate the skies for decades, a project worth potentially tens of billions of dollars. And it came after a fierce competition with Lockheed Martin, the company that has dominated modern fighter programs for decades. Boeing's win shocked the aerospace world. For some, it's a triumph of American engineering and corporate ambition. For others, a moment to pause and ask, can Boeing actually pull this off? Trump didn't hold back in describing the F-47. He called it the most advanced, capable, and lethal aircraft ever built. He boasted it features cutting-edge stealth technology, unparalleled speed, and maneuverability that could outmatch any rival. Even more striking, he revealed that secret experimental versions have been quietly flying for nearly 5 years, hinting at a program operating under the radar while the public watched the skies. And according to him, the jet is set to enter service before 2029, promising rapid deployment of America's newest weapon in the air. But with all this hype comes natural skepticism. Boeing's previous projects haven't always gone smoothly, and 6 generations of technological advancement is no small feat. Can a company with a checkered history deliver a fighter this advanced on time? Will the F-47 truly dominate against competitors like China or Russia? Or is this another high-profile promise destined for PowerPoint glory rather than the tarmac? This announcement isn't just about a plane. It's about the future of air combat, American prestige, and global power dynamics. And as we dig deeper, we'll see that behind the headlines, the story of the F-47 is as much about politics, ambition, and corporate capability as it is about cutting-edge technology. So, what makes the F-47 so special? Why is the United States Air Force betting the future of air dominance on this single plane? The F-47 is designed to replace the F-22 Raptor as America's top fighter. Think of it like upgrading from a smartphone to a supercomputer in the sky. The official vision is ambitious, a jet that's faster, stealthier, and more versatile than anything the Air Force currently operates. Its range is supposed to allow missions across continents, and its payload capacity promises heavier munitions, meaning it can carry more firepower over longer distances. Trump and Air Force Chief of Staff David Alvin both emphasized its futuristic capabilities. Alvin described the F-47 as not just a fighter, but a command hub in the air, capable of controlling swarms of drones in combat. Imagine a single jet coordinating dozens of robotic aircraft, spotting threats, and striking targets with pinpoint precision, all while remaining nearly invisible to enemy radar. It's the ultimate networked warplane. There's also talk of export versions for allies. The idea is that other countries could buy a tiered model, less powerful than the one the United States flies, helping America maintain an edge while keeping foreign partners involved. In theory, it's a clever way to spread costs and influence. But here's where skepticism creeps in. No exact production costs have been announced. Timelines are vague. And while the promises sound incredible on paper, ambitious claims often clash with reality in defense programs. Can Boeing really deliver stealth, speed, heavy payloads, and drone command capability all in one platform? Or are these features mostly ideas waiting for hardware to catch up? The vision is clear. F-47 is meant to cement United States air superiority for decades. But like any bold plan, it faces a critical question. Can ambition survive the grind of reality? Before we get too carried away with promises of stealth, speed, and drone command, it's worth asking, can Boeing actually make this happen? Boeing is a giant in aviation, but it hasn't always lived up to its hype. In the past, it lost out to Lockheed Martin when the F-35 and F-22 programs were decided. Its X-32 fighter was beaten by the X-35, leaving a lingering shadow over its military credibility. On the civilian side, the 737 MAX crashes revealed serious flaws in safety systems and corporate oversight, shaking confidence worldwide. Even space ventures like the NASA Starliner program have struggled, leaving astronauts stranded while SpaceX stepped in to rescue the schedule. The question isn't just about past mistakes, it's about culture. Boeing has been accused of cutting corners under pressure, chasing deadlines and trying to stretch budgets. Developing a sixth-generation fighter, something far more advanced than anything Boeing has flown before, will require flawless coordination across engineering, manufacturing, and testing. One misstep could delay the program by years. This is where the drama of the F-47 begins. The success of the United States Air Force's next flagship fighter now depends on a company with a rocky history and complex projects. Can Boeing turn ambition into reality, or will history repeat itself, leaving another high-profile program stuck in delays, cost overruns, and skepticism? The stakes are enormous. This isn't just about Boeing's reputation, it's about the future of United States air power, and the answer is far from certain. Even if Boeing can build the F-47 on time, there's another huge question hanging over the program: how much will it cost, and can the United States actually afford it? History offers some cautionary tales. The F-22 Raptor, the F-47's predecessor, was originally planned for over 400 units. But budget overruns and skyrocketing costs slashed production to just 187 planes. Each unit ended up costing hundreds of millions of dollars, far beyond initial estimates. Then there's the F-35 program, with maintenance costs so high that some allies called it unaffordable. Flight hours could reach over $40,000 each, and production delays stretched across a decade, frustrating governments and pilots alike. Now, imagine trying to build a sixth-generation fighter with stealth, advanced sensors, heavy payloads, and drone command capabilities. The potential costs could easily spiral into trillions of dollars over the life of the program. Congress is already wary, and lawmakers have historically been quick to cut programs when budgets get out of control. This creates a tension between ambition and reality. The F-47 is supposed to be revolutionary, but revolutionary tech comes at a price. And keeping costs under control while building the world's most advanced fighter is a nearly impossible balancing act. The real question for viewers to consider is simple but critical. Can the United States invest in this next-generation plane without repeating the same mistakes of the past? Or will ambition outrun the budget, leaving a partially built fighter instead of a fleet ready to dominate the skies? While the United States debates costs and schedules across the Pacific, China is moving fast. The F-47 isn't just racing against time or budgets, it's racing against a global competitor that's building multiple sixth-generation fighters at the same time. China's programs, like the Shenyang J-35A, J-50, and H-20 concepts, really showcase rapid development and testing. Some of these jets are unmanned, some are heavily stealthy, and, well, test footage released online demonstrates agility and performance that could challenge anything the United States has planned. Unlike the United States, which often outsources parts or relies on shrinking domestic manufacturing, China has a full supply chain, from rare earth mining to precision manufacturing. Their factories hum with efficiency, producing components that the United States sometimes struggles to source domestically. Contrast that with the F-47. Much of its production depends on Boeing's stretched facilities, foreign software, and, outsourced components. While the United States talks about futuristic capabilities, China is putting working aircraft in the air. In other words, the F-47 might be a fighter still largely on PowerPoint slides, while China is flying real machines. This is more than just a technological race. It's a geopolitical one. When China's sixth-generation fleet becomes operational, the balance of air power in Asia and beyond could shift dramatically. the F-47 may face a situation where promised superiority arrives after rivals have already built their edge. The story is clear. To stay dominant, the United States needs more than ambition and promises. It needs speed, industrial capacity, and flawless execution, all under the pressure of a competitor already in flight. Building the F-47 isn't just about the United States Air Force. It's also about alliances, exports, and global influence. Trump suggested that allied nations could buy a downgraded version of the F-47, allowing them to access advanced technology without surpassing the United States' edge. On paper, it sounds like a clever strategy. Share some capability, protect secrets, and offset costs. But, history warns us this is easier said than done. The F-35 program, which promised global cooperation, ended in frustration for many allies. Germany walked away, fed up with delays. Portugal and Canada bailed, seeking more affordable alternatives. Turkey paid into the program, only to get excluded without receiving a single plane. These setbacks highlight a pattern. Advanced fighter programs are expensive, complex, and politically tricky, and allies often end up frustrated when promises clash with reality. For the F-47, the gamble is twofold. First, can allies be convinced to invest in a plane that is still mostly in development? Second, will the United States maintain its technological edge while allowing other countries access? If allies hesitate or refuse, the United States could be left footing the bill alone. That would reduce the total number of jets built, making the per-unit cost skyrocket and putting the whole program under pressure. In short, exporting the F-47 isn't just a business decision, it's a strategic gamble with both financial and geopolitical consequences. The plane's success may depend as much on diplomatic maneuvering as on engineering brilliance. Even if Boeing builds the F-47 on schedule and allies come on board, there are serious risks that could derail the program. Lessons learned from past fighter jets loom large. First, there's timing and technical complexity. Developing a sixth-generation fighter is far more challenging than any previous program. Stealth, heavy payloads, drone command capability, and advanced avionics all have to work together flawlessly. Historically, jets like the F-22 and F-35 suffered repeated delays because integrating new technology is rarely smooth. The F-22's readiness rate fell below 50% at times, and the F-35 faced engine failures, supply chain chaos, and cost overruns. Then there's material and supply concerns. Advanced alloys, titanium, and rare earths are essential for stealth and performance. With China controlling much of the global supply and United States factories shrinking or outsourcing, Boeing could face bottlenecks that delay production or drive up costs. Cost remains a risk, too. Even a partially successful F-47 fleet could end up astronomically expensive, with limited numbers produced, reducing the economies of scale and pushing per-unit costs even higher. The lesson is clear. Ambition alone doesn't guarantee success. Past programs show that overpromising and under-delivering is all too easy when tackling cutting-edge aviation. While the United States dreams of a sky filled with F-47s dominating Chinese and Russian aircraft, the reality may be a program struggling to get off the ground while rivals advance steadily. In short, the F-47 sits at a crossroads. It could become the crown jewel of American air power, or a cautionary tale repeating mistakes from decades past. The difference will come down to execution, industrial capacity, and whether history's warnings are taken seriously. So, where does all this leave the F-47? On paper, it promises to be the most advanced fighter the United States has ever built. Stealthy, fast, heavy-hitting, and capable of commanding swarms of drones in combat. It's meant to secure American air dominance for decades and maintain a technological edge over rivals like China and Russia. But as we've seen, ambition meets reality. Boeing's past setbacks, budget constraints, supply chain challenges, and the rising capabilities of global competitors all create uncertainty. Allies may hesitate, costs could balloon, and technology may take longer to mature than the hype suggests. The F-47 is as much a political and industrial challenge as it is a technological one. For viewers, the takeaway is this. The F-47 isn't just a fighter jet, it's a symbol of high-stakes strategy. Its success or failure will influence the balance of air power, international alliances, and the future of military aviation. Watch the prototypes, track production milestones, and pay attention to how the global aerospace race unfolds. In the end, the skies of tomorrow may be dominated by the F-47 or by rivals who move faster and smarter. The gamble has begun, and the next decade will decide whether this bold vision becomes reality or just another story of promises delayed, planes grounded, and PowerPoints that never fly.